LeBron James had a player option in his deal for $52 million. LeBron opted in on the $52 million. But then after opting in on the $52 million, Rich Paul put out a statement that I think we'd all agree was a little, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie and Rob and consider the Lakers a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. Ryan, did he just opt in and ask for a trade at the same time?
It certainly these sorts of statements from Rich Paul, as someone we've followed the LeBron saga now for 2 decades, certainly the unhappiness saga for over a decade and a half. This usually comes right in the middle of the season, not going into the year.
Yeah, and so this is tough for me. And I can only imagine how tough it is for LeBron. And quite honestly, I can only imagine how tough it is for Rich Paul. Because let's be clear, they are not a team, okay? Rich Paul plays for LeBron. LeBron tells Rich Paul what to do. And this appears to be what Rich Paul was told to do, because Rich is bright. And Rich has to know he has a losing proposition here. And when I say he has a losing proposition here, this is what I mean, okay? LeBron took less than the max, rather. He took less than the max in Miami to facilitate winning and got absolutely no credit for it from none of y'all, right? He took the less than the max and got no credit for it. He is a man who, in truth, in his career, has probably been underpaid by something in the neighborhood of $1 billion, if not more. I don't really have much of a doubt of that. I think LeBron has probably been worth over $100 million to this league every year that he has played, right? Like he has been drastically underpaid. He will never take a penny less than the max ever again. And he ain't got to explain that to me. He ain't got to apologize for it to me, right? He wants his bread. This league owes him his bread. And keep in mind, this is the man that got Spotify with the advertisements in it, okay? He's serious about his money. Problem is, in the year of our Lord, 2025, you cannot win a championship paying LeBron James $50 million a year. The reason you can't win a championship paying LeBron $50 million a year is I don't think that you can win a championship in this league when your second best player makes $50 million a year. I don't think you can win a championship with LeBron as your best player, meaning he can be at best your second best player. But you can't win a championship with your second best player making $50 million a year. It's a no-win proposition in a way where I don't really understand what he's going for, where he's trying to work himself into, what exactly it is that he is trying to engineer. I don't get it. And what I say is you can't get everything that you want out of this situation. It's not going to happen. And so for him, it becomes a matter of what to prioritize. Well, he already took the 50, right? So we're already there with him on the 50. I think he and the Lakers are stuck with each other. I don't think either of them can truly afford to move on. What I mean when I say that, or why I say that, Jeannie Buss finds it to be very important that the Lakers are viewed as a franchise that takes care of its stars, okay? We first really got a glimpse into this in the way that they humbled themselves trying to keep Dwight Howard in 2013 with billboards and everything else, even though he wound up leaving, right? They tried. They gave it a go, okay? We all know what the problem was there, but, you got to be careful the things we say about that. So they wanted to keep Dwight because that's what they do, okay? They got LeBron. LeBron has been there now for 7 years, not the 8 that Rich Paul said, which I found to be interesting because Rich Paul knows how many years it's been. Okay. It'll be 8 at the end of this year. I don't know exactly how that mistake got made or whether he was already looking into the future, but you're not going to tell me he doesn't know exactly how many years LeBron has been there. But that's the longest continuous stretch LeBron has been anywhere in his career. It's tied with the first run in Cleveland. That was a 7-year run. Okay. So Genie wants to keep LeBron, but they have already invested in the Luka era. Okay. That's the future. They've made that call. He is the next star. Okay. But the Lakers can't say we're not going to re-sign LeBron James. That is counter to what they do. I don't think that they're in the, well, we're going to trade LeBron James. I don't really think that one's in the cards either for a player of that caliber. That runs counter to the brand that they are trying to build. On the other hand, LeBron James clearly wanted to be a Laker. Right? Like one of the big things that we heard when he went there was he wanted to be part of one of the bigger established iconic brands of the sport, one of the great franchises. He wanted to have that anchor. Okay. Plus, he wants to be a Hollywood player. Now, business for Spring Hill's a little bit different. They got bought out by somebody, right? So that game has gone a little bit different, but he wants to be a guy in LA. Right. There was even to the point where he wanted like the thought of him being like an action star. Like we've seen him in the movies, all that thing. But a player in Hollywood and a player in Los Angeles is what he wanted to be. And having that relationship with the Lakers helps a lot toward his goals. What, you tell me LeBron going to go back to Cleveland? I don't think so. In fact, I think it would be silly for Cleveland to do. But LeBron going back to Cleveland? Don't see it. Where is he going to go just to win that championship? If that's what it comes down to, that is truly helpful for him. And again, will truly put him in a position where the team can win a championship. I personally don't see that on the board for him. Where I think he made a mistake or where I would have advised him is how he treated this relationship with the Lakers. And I think that he has mismanaged it basically from the very beginning. Here's why I say that. Simply being on the Lakers was not going to be enough to achieve what I believe LeBron James wanted. Okay. To be attached to the Lakers in the way that he wished to be attached to the Lakers, he needed to go all in on the idea of being a Laker, keeping in mind that he is the successor to Kobe Bryant with the Lakers, which took on an additional magnitude after Kobe passed. Okay. Kobe Bryant loved the Lakers, even with the trade situation of 2007 and all of that. Kobe Bryant identified himself as a Laker fan and loved being a Laker, and his relationship with that fan base is familial. Okay. It is a relationship where over that time, they went through things. They had highs, they had lows, but the association with Kobe Bryant, as sociopathic as he was about the basketball stuff, felt very real and very warm with the franchise. LeBron, for reasons that make perfect sense and are informed by his lived experience, does not relate to franchises that way. I think he came to relate to like Cleveland or like Cleveland specifically, because Akron and Cleveland are not the same place. But he came to feel that way about Cleveland, and that relationship became different after they went through some things, right? And then they got the championship. But that was the thing for LeBron. There's a real thing there with him and the people. The relationship with him and the Lakers has always felt transactional, and that was not going to get him what he wanted to be. You're dealing with a fan base that spent a long time rooting against you because you're not Kobe Bryant. And Kobe never seemed to really, really, really wrap his arms around LeBron. Now, LeBron will tell you that isn't the case, but I'm saying from here, it didn't appear that way. And whether it's the truth or not doesn't matter in terms of application and what your relationship is going to be with those people there. Okay. Everything needed to be, I am a Laker for life. This will be my last stop. Right? I would like to win one more championship with the Lakers. You could be like Wilt Chamberlain, who played for 2 other franchises, but in the end was a Laker and an LA guy. and became that dude, right? That's what I think he needed to say and he needed to do. Because winning a championship is really, 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 really unlikely. And LeBron told us ring culture is overrated. Got it. Should have leaned in, I think, just on being a Laker. Make the transition to setting Luka Doncic up if you want, all of those things. To me, that is the long run play. Even if you take the 50, okay? Take the 50 and be like, I'm never going anywhere else. I'm staying here. This is where I'm going to be. Instead, Ryan, it sounds like LeBron think he can play forever.
It's a wild thing because by any metric, he was one of the 10 best players in the league during the regular season. But everything the finals taught us were that finals was won by young dudes and teams that have a lot of dudes.
Yes.
And things you can't do if you pay two players $50 million with the new CBA. It's impossible.
And even if he's a top 10 player, he is too old to give you LeBron, like LeBron, but so often.
Right.
Right? Like there's going to be, it's kind of what Bruce Bowen talked about, man. These cats ain't supposed to still be playing basketball this long, right? But it's complicated by the fact that he's so good.
Yeah.
But not quite that level anymore, right? But he needs to say, I am a Laker. I think that's the win. But all the stuff you want to get, you want to be paid this much, you want to have this chance at winning a championship, and kind of the coldness of the tone in the way that they... Nah, man, you're not going to be able to get those things. I don't think those things are available. But I don't blame them at all. Get that money if that's what you want. Try to get yourself to the best chance at a championship if that's what you want. Try your hardest. It's just not going to work.